Hi, I'm Jane Arneson. I'm a musician and producer from the band Evolve, and I've asked me to talk about how NKS works in Komplete Kontrol and Machina. I'm going to show you how to set up NKS instruments and effects to take full advantage of all of the great features. NKS stands for Native Control Standard, and without getting too much into the details, what that means is browsing and manipulating NI and third-party sounds directly from your NI hardware has never been easier. That means no more wasting time manually setting up your third-party plugins in your controller. It gets you hands-on and away from the computer screen quickly. This faster workflow means more time creating, and that's good for everyone. In order to set up your NKS plugins so that they work with Komplete Kontrol software, you need to go through the following steps. Make sure that you have the latest version of your third-party NKS plugin installed. Download and check that you have the latest version of Komplete Kontrol working, which you can easily check on native access. Finally, open up Komplete Kontrol as standalone so that it runs a product scan to update the plugin library. Okay, so that's the technical side of things. Let's start having some fun. Here's a project that I've been working on. I'm using Logic here, but you can use any DAW. I've loaded up Komplete Kontrol as a plugin on a couple of the tracks. I can use the NI hardware to navigate the DAW. There's no need for the mouse. Here I'm using the large scroll knob to move between tracks in my DAW. I can also select tracks by pressing the buttons. Once I'm there, I can change the volume like this, and also with the large scroll knob. Let's browse and load a sound. When I hit the browser button, I can see all of the NKS instruments on the left-hand side. I can narrow down my search by selecting from a variety of categories. I wanted to go straight to Sonic Couture, and which product do I want? Let's go for Ting Click. Now I'm going to use the large scroll knob to scroll through the different presets on the right-hand side. Being able to hear the sounds before loading them in is a huge time saver when I want to stay focused on my idea. Nothing's quite what I want, but I like the balafon. Let's give that a go. Great. So I've got my sound, but I think I want to make a few changes to it. I'm thinking about using an ARP. So let's go over here and I'll turn the arpeggiator on. Okay, that's not bad, but I want to edit that a little bit. So I'm going to do Shift and Edit. And let's make it 2 octaves. Cool, and let's put a bit of swing in. Cool, okay. So before I start recording, I need to set up my DAW a little bit. I'm going to put the loop on. I don't need the metronome because I've got the drums in the background, and I think I should be good to go. Record, here we go. Cool. So I have a basic idea recorded in my DAW. Now I'm going to make the sound a little bit more interesting by tweaking the knobs on the Komplete Kontrol. So make sure I have plugin button selected, and this shows all of the pre-mapped variables in the instrument. Hit play, and let's see what I can do to it. I think in this example I'm going to play with a filter cutoff frequency. Yeah, nice. I'll also increase the amount of reverb. Cool. So when I was playing with this filter, I had a great idea. I think I might automate this. So let's have a go at it. Hit the automation button and record it in. Here we go. Okay, let's see how that worked. Cool. Okay, so let's go one step further and use the NKS mapping on third-party effects to develop these sounds even more. I'll choose an empty slot, hit the browser, and I'm going to use, let's use waves in this example. Now I'm going to search by type, and I think I want a delay. Let's go for a basic slap delay. That's a little bit too intense, so I'm going to scroll through to the right and reduce the amount that I've mixed it in. I'm going to also attenuate the output volume whilst I'm here. I might increase the modulation slightly. Cool, okay. So I've added this delay, but now I've got a pretty muddy kind of sound. So I'm going to move to the right again. So I select an empty slot, hit browser, and I think I have an idea. I want the F6 waves EQ. So I've got waves, let's go for EQ, and a dynamic EQ in this example. And let's see what we've got here. Oh, this is the one I want. This is going to give a boost to the top end and cut out the low end. Great. Let's hear what it sounds like now. So maybe a little bit too intense in the middle. So perhaps I'll bring this up a bit. Cool. Yeah, I like it. Sounds great. Today I've showed you how NKS works to integrate your experience using Komplete Kontrol. But what about Machina? Well, it works in exactly the same way. So I'm going to select a new sound, I'll hit the browser and scroll through using the large scroll knob to find the sound that I want. Cool, I like that one. Let's select that. Now, if I hit the plugin button, you can see that all of the pre-mapped NKS parameters show up. I think I want it to be a bit louder, so I'm going to scroll through, find the volume, and turn that up. Maybe I'll bring the attack back a bit. So I think let's play. I'm going to hit play in the door and play around a bit. Okay, hit record and then I can go for it. Quantize. Great. So now you know all about NKS. I really hope it helps you work faster and to keep in the flow.